Players have been waiting on this announcement for the last couple of months, but Minecraft have finally released the name of their next game drop, Chase the Skies. The Chase the Skies drop not only brings an exciting flying mount to Minecraft, the happy gasp, but that it's coming soon, opening up the skies for exploring, crafting, and hopefully surviving. Now, we've had many conversations in the past about why Minecraft have changed the word updates to game drops, and originally game drops were going to be a lot smaller than your average updates, but this game drop seems quite of a big game drop, and whether or not that's because of the demand of this drop, I have no idea, but either way it seems particularly quite interesting and I want to talk about it all in this video. So the first one is a trio of happy ghasts. Most airlines don't ask you to find, raise and then tame your own aeroplane before takeoff, which is probably why I never convinced the developers to make happy ghast air a thing. However, Chase the Skies does bring an exciting flying amount to Minecraft, and your check-in desk is located in the Nether. In the Nether, you'll find skeletons, endermen, lakes of lava, striders, magma cubes, piglins, and a respawn screen around every corner, but don't let that mild peril put you off. With the Chase the Skies drop, you'll also find a very special block called the Dried Ghast. Now, if you want to take a deeper look at the Dried Ghast, you can take a look at this image on screen right now, courtesy of Minecraft. Many people aren't sure what to think about this block, particularly a lot of people don't like how it looks, but it is a Dried Ghast, and their article says these adorably dehydrated blocks are usually found hanging around fossil structures, although you can occasionally also barter with piglins for them. So the reason many people don't like it is because the sole nature of this block is meant to be a dehydrated block, and I find that particularly interesting. The fact that a block has some sort of, not necessarily a feeling, but some sort of attachment to it is quite interesting. If a trip to the Nether sounds too scary, then you'll be happy to hear that you can also craft dried ghasts. All you need is ghast tears and a soul sand block. Wait, aren't these items you can only find in the Nether, and doesn't one of them involve defeating a ghast? That doesn't sound less perilous. I actually quite like the way they've written this article, purely because it's not just an article letting us know about all of the new things in this game drop, but they've actually inserted a few snippets, or should I say quotes, quite funny ones actually. One of them says, "Please take care when travelling through the Nether and apply diamond armor liberally." This one is labelled as a pre-flight announcement, but as you can see they've also crossed out sunscreen. So yeah, there's definitely that side of humour to it, which I think many people will enjoy. Going back to the dried ghast block for a second, although I said people are very opinionated on it, and a lot of people don't like it, there is one thing I do like, and it's the fact that you can actually revive this dried ghast block. Once you've survived your ordeal scorching vacation, and you've got both blocky feet planted firmly back in the overworld, it's time to revive your dried ghast. Leave it in water, and you'll start to see this little block transform and become happier and happier until it finally becomes a ghastling. If you want to know what a ghastling looks like, there's a photo of it on screen right now. I think it looks particularly cute. Did you think I was going to say a happy ghast? Well, not yet. Your ghastling will need a bit more love and care before you can soar through the skies together. Feed it lots of snowballs until it becomes a happy ghast, and then you and up to 4 friends can officially start your side hustles as overworld pilots chartering flights far and wide. So it sounds pretty exciting, doesn't it? Especially because a lot of it quite involves the Nether as well. It adds some sort of a smaller challenge to this game drop, which I think many people will really enjoy. Again, people don't really like it when there's something extremely easy to do, but I think this adds, quite a challenge to the game, and you also get quite an exciting reward out of it. I'm also very excited to find out what people think to this brand new method of transport. Over the years, we've had things such as minecarts and being able to ride animals and such like that, but this one is entirely different. Yes, you can ride the ghast, but at the same time, it kind of replaces the conversation where many people were like, oh, you can add helicopters or planes. Rather, they've added a Minecraft twist to it, and instead of adding helicopters or planes, they've actually added ghasts, which you can fly around the world in, and I think that's particularly exciting, especially because you could probably get to places much quicker, depending, of course, how fast the ghast actually goes. Next up, as part of this game drop, we have the player locator bar. Now, if you're not sure or haven't seen this previously, I'll leave a screenshot as to what the player locator bar looks like on screen right now, again courtesy of Minecraft. Their article goes on to say, isn't it the worst when you finally reach your destination and one of your friends keeps running off and getting into all sorts of trouble? I wouldn't know, seeing as I am that friend, but now with the player locator bar, at least those on my realm will be able to see where I've gotten into trouble and hopefully come and rescue me. This is such a small change, but yet it's the most helpful one. Over the years, when I've been in a survival world with many of my friends, and say for example example, we all go exploring far, far and wide throughout the world and we lose each other, we've never really had a proper way to find each other again. This is why coordinates were also kind of introduced onto the screen, so you can try and match up your coordinates with your friends, but at the same time, the player locator bar makes things so much more simple, and then you can see how close by you actually are to each other. Yes, you could also see your friends on a map, but then they introduced two different maps, and it made things a lot more confusing, and also, it didn't really give you an idea of how far away you were from your friends, so this player locator bar makes that so much more easier, and especially when you're, doing more exploring as part of this game drop, then you can find your friends in a much quicker and faster way for you all to enjoy this game drop together. Again, we have another pre-flight announcement that says players that don't want to be found with the player locator bar can crouch to remain undetected. So there you go. If you're trying to hide away from your friends or, a stranger in a realm or something, you can actually crouch to remain undetected, especially if you're playing like a game of hide and seek. I mean, I'm sure you can turn these settings off anyway, but if you wanted to keep them on and still kind of play hide and seek, then you can always rely on crouching to remain unfound. The player locator bar shows up in the same place as the XP bar when other players are in your world, and it'll show you where your friends are with neat coloured dots. If your friend is off getting lost up a cliffside or they've fallen down into Spaghetti Cave, it'll also show a handy little arrow that tells you they're at a higher or lower elevation. So again, going back to the time when we could always match up, coordinates with our friends, this will actually tell you whether or not they're on the same height level in your world, and then you can find each other that way as well. Next up, we have new leashing functionality. You might think leads are an odd thing to pop in your suitcase bundle, but with the new leads and leashing functionality coming as part of the Chase the Skies drop, you want to make sure you have plenty at hand. Not only has the crafting recipe become simpler for leads, now you only need string by the way, but you can leash almost anything to anything. For example, you can leash multiple mobs together to create your very own caravan of camels to join you on your desert vacation, or leash entities like boats beneath your happy gas to create your very own luggage compartment. You might think that sounds pretty crazy, and actually it is. Now, this is something many players have been very excited about. The amount of screenshots I've seen in regards to this new leashing functionality is just absolutely crazy. I'll put some on screen now if I do have any, and yeah, let me know what you think to this. I think many people will absolutely love it. And here we have another pre-flight announcement. Please note you cannot leash other players to anything, no matter how much you want to stop your friends from wandering off. Use the player locator bar instead. So yes, you can do all sorts of cool things with leashes, but unfortunately you can't trap your friends to a fence or anything like that. And then we have craftable saddles and new functionality for shears. By the way, another pre-flight announcement before I get more into this, you can also use shears to release specific leads from a knot of leads, keeping the rest of the knot intact. So this new functionality for shears is actually connected to leads, and I find it quite cool how they're all intertwined with each other and you can use them all at once. It makes things a lot more smoother and easier throughout the gameplay process, and therefore I think people will really enjoy this game drop. Small changes like this leaves it extremely simple and not too complicated, and that's what players prefer when enjoying the game. If it's too complicated, doesn't really make sense, then yeah, of course, players are not going to be too happy, but I think many players are excited for this game drop for that reason. I mean, literally, the demand for this game drop has been at an all-time high. There's been people everywhere talking about it non-stop, and now we finally have more information. With so much crafting power now at your fingertips, the developers thought it might be good to make it easier to remove saddles as well, which is great news for me and the 35 still saddle pigs in my pig pen. Now you can remove saddles using shears, easy peasy. Next up, we have a brand new music disc, which actually looks quite cool to me. I'm not entirely sure what it sounds like, but I do think it looks like a cool design. What's a holiday without some souvenirs? Plucky explorers will want to pick up the new music disc that's lootable from ghasts with the Chase the Skies drop, unfortunately not the happy kind, the fire-breathing red-eyed kind. How exactly the ghast drops this music disc, I don't know, because I'm not brave enough to find out. Perhaps you are though, then send me a postcard from the nether. As well as the music disc, you'll also hear 5 new ambient tracks from Amos Roddy that will play in various overworld biomes, lily pad, below and above, O's, pianos, broken clocks, fireflies and tears. If you can't wait until Chase the Skies arrives to listen to these tracks, you can find them right now on Spotify and beyond. So to make things easier, if you don't want to read the article yourself, I will actually leave a direct link to the Spotify down below in the description, so you can go and listen to these tracks once you've finished watching this video. And then of course we have the most exciting one, at least in my opinion, Vibrant Horizon. Horizons. Players on compatible Bedrock Edition devices can also soak in breathtaking views with Minecraft's biggest official visual refresh, Vibrant Visuals. That was quite a tongue twister, I apologise if I messed that up. Fly high with your happy gas to watch the sunrise reflect on a rippling ocean, make out with shifting shadows, descend into the dark depths, or simply sit back and enjoy the vivid beauty of each biome. With updated in-game visuals, you'll see how light and shadow transform the overworld, water reflects, forests become shaded, fog drifts, and waterfalls glimmer in the light. And let me just tell you, these look absolutely incredible. This is definitely one of my most favourite parts about this game drop, and I'm so excited to jump into it properly, without actually going into the preview, and really just exploring what this game looks like. I couldn't believe this when I first saw it. It was probably, one of the most exciting announcements I found about Minecraft Live, and now it's officially coming to life. I will leave all the screenshots on screen right now in regards to Vibrant Visuals. You can probably already see how incredible the game looks with it switched on, and if we, went back all those years ago, we could probably not believe that this was, ever going to come to the game, and now it's finally here. Just look at how amazing the game looks with this brand new update, and for sure, this is definitely one of the most, highly demanded features as part of this game drop. I'm excited to explore it myself, and I can't wait to do more videos in the Vibrant Visuals setting as well, because I'm curious to find out what people actually think to it. Personally, I think not only does it make the game look amazing, but it also makes it a lot more realistic, especially when you look deeper into actually how the water looks and the lava looks. Another pre-flight announcement, Vibrant Visuals does not impact Minecraft's gameplay, which means you can play on realms with friends whether they have Vibrant Visuals enabled or not. So regardless of whether or not your friend is playing in the normal Minecraft setting without Vibrant Visuals, and you have Vibrant Visuals switched on, that does not, have any issue whatsoever. You will still be able to have Vibrant Visuals on and not have any issues. While Vibrant Visuals is initially only releasing on compatible Minecraft Bedrock Edition devices, this is just the first step, and we plan to bring Vibrant Visuals to Minecraft Java Edition in the future. For those who like to dive into Marketplace content, please be aware that my Marketplace add-ons, skins, and persona items will work with Vibrant Visuals. However, worlds and texture packs won't be compatible with the new mode at the time of launch. Oh, the captain has just informed me that we're now cleared for takeoff, so get ready for an exciting skyward adventure in Minecraft. New Horizons are coming soon. I'm not gonna lie, this game drop is probably one I've been most excited for a while now. Not only does it have small changes, those small changes make the biggest impact, and it makes the game much more easier and enjoyable, not just for individual players, but people who also want to play with their friends. For those who are more curious about the Vibrant Visual side of things, I do just have some more important pieces of information. Supported devices for Vibrant Visuals include Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Android, iOS, and PC, so pretty much every console you can think of. But then if you are curious about the specs you need if you're running it on PC, iOS, and Android, here they are on screen right now. You obviously need to have those specs or a little bit higher in order for it to work smoother. Split screen multiplayer is not supported with Vibrant Visuals, and the game will switch to fancy or simple rendering if multiple players are joined locally. So yes, there you go. If you do play with your friends online, then Vibrant Visuals will still run as normal, even if you're on a realm, and even if your friend isn't necessarily running Vibrant Visuals, everything will work the same. But if it is split screen and it's local multiplayer, the game will turn back to its normal graphics that we've all known before. But I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a like, click subscribe, and also share it with your friends. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this brand new game drop down below in the comment section. Obviously, we knew it was coming eventually, we just didn't know what the name of it was going to be, but many players have, more excitement about the game drop. Now we have an official name, and we actually know what's releasing altogether. I think it makes it a lot more exciting. Let me know what you think. With that being said, if you want to see more videos from me, you can click this one on screen, or you can watch my entire playlist to the right of the screen, and I'll see you over there.